Hey guys, how's it going? I am attorney Michael Ehline, and as most of you know, I am an attorney licensed to practice law in Texas and California, but it looks like I'm becoming a comedian because my viewers last night overwhelmingly loved the comedy from the prank videos that I did with First Amendment auditors. So back by popular demand, we're going to do a, uh, a police cop auditors gone wild, rude auditor pranks part 2 tonight. And I found some real doozies that some people sent to me last night. And so I said, what the heck, we'll do another one. We got more views last night. I think almost 150,000 views for just some corny videos, and it's like, man, I thought you guys came to my show because you wanted to learn about the law and stuff. And I'm starting to see that maybe you guys think that I'm funny too. I don't know. But give me a bunch of ones if you think I'm funny, because I never really considered myself to be a comedian. But I've been having a lot of fun with you guys. As you know, I got my start doing these videos because our friend Chili DeCastro got locked up, and I was trying to help him get out of jail and just visit him and make sure that he felt some aid and comfort while he was falsely imprisoned. And so I started helping out with his channel over at Delete Laws. And then lo and behold, people started coming to watch me, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. And then I was getting like super chats, and people were actually paying me to spend some of my time. And so thank you guys for that. That was really awesome. And so now I have this show, and I've been doing it for about, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And I already have almost 19,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Because when I started, I think I had only like maybe 1,000 subscribers. So thanks guys for supporting Team MPE. As some of you may have noticed, I haven't shaved the last couple of days. I've just been completely buried with work and just not in the mood to do anything. I get up at like 04, go for a walk, maybe do some pull-ups at the jungle gym at the park. Then I'm just on my computer all day working on cases. And so doing these shows really helps me kind of unwind and, have a non-alcohol, drug-free evening and hopefully get some laughs the last couple of nights with you guys. So thanks for joining me. Jody Shiloh, Mama Lion. Thanks, Tiffany Dagley or Dagley. I don't know how to say your name, but you get it, right? I appreciate it. And tonight it looks like I've got an all-female. I got Jody Shiloh. Love it, Jody. And I've got Tiffany and Mama Lion. And so, yeah, I love that. I love having all girls. That tells me that I'm getting a more balanced audience, because primarily it's just been dudes. And, you guys know that I like the girls always. Girls are the ones who always get me in trouble, but I love you the most. So thanks for coming on the show. And so tonight we're going to have some fun, and we're going to talk about pranking police officers. And it got me thinking, like some of the stuff that officers do to us is almost like a prank. Like, where you headed? How much have you had to drink tonight? It's like, really? It's almost like comedy. Like, who gave this person the right to ask me these questions, right? And so one of my members sent me these, like a whole string of videos, a whole slew of them, and they're freaking hilarious, where people are turning the tables on the cops. And so we're going to have some fun with that. And we're going to talk a little bit about the legalities of pranking police and when it is or isn't legal, and how that might affect your court case if you do get beat up. Like, would a jury even want to give you money if you were a jerk? And we sort of talked about that last night, how your personality has a lot to do with whether a lawyer, number one, will even take your case. And number two, whether a jury is even going to give you any money. If, sometimes they'll find in favor of the plaintiff and not give him anything. Oh, hey, Tiffany. Tiffany says, my daughter in kindergarten, her female teacher said that to shave, I guess. Uh-oh, I better shave. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. I don't know. Plead the Fifth, right on. I got my name changed back to my normal name. Right on, Plead the Fifth. Good seeing you. So at least one of the dudes finally showed up. So tonight I took some notes, so you can learn a little bit about the law. And then we're also going to do a video. Let me just really quick look on here about the oath that officers and other public servants make to the Constitution. And it's called Ignored and Betrayed Daily at the Cost of Liberty. And it's another one by my friend over at the 10th Amendment Center. So we'll start off tonight with some jokes, having a little bit of fun. I'll explain a little bit about the law to you. And but we'll have some more fun tonight and get some laughs. Lawyer Dog. Hey, Lawyer Dog, I didn't see an email from you. But Lawyer Dog said that he or she, whoever Lawyer Dog is, sent me an email. It did not see one, but put in the send it again, resend it, but put in the top of the email something like Lawyer Dog from YouTube, so I'll know it's you. Guys, I probably get 500 to 600 emails a day, and it's just unbelievable. About half of them are from people on YouTube who have cases in other states where I can't help them. So I try to have my staff, which I have to pay for, unfortunately. It's costing me a fortune, guys. That's why it's really helpful when you guys can buy one of my books or throw me a super chat or buy some memberships and give them to other people, because I actually do care about people, and I will use my time to try to help those guys find lawyers. So I get guys from Missouri, in the deep South and bluegrass areas, New Orleans. They all love my show, thanks to you guys making me popular. And they're all hoping that I can hook them up with a lawyer. And then especially lately with the Marine Corps, we got the Marine Corps birthday coming up. As you guys know, I am an inactive U.S. Marine, and I'm preparing for the Marine Corps birthday. I'm going to be at the Leathernecks Bar and History Museum in Nevada in a couple of days for the Marine Corps birthday. Hoorah! And so hopefully some of you guys will come and visit me. Let me know if you're coming so I can try to get Ghost to reserve some space, or at least let my friends from the Leathernecks, if they're going to be there, make some space for, hopefully you're a fellow Marine from the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club, so they can make some room and you can join us. So, and if you ride motorcycles, if they're going to ride there, I'll try to arrange to where you can ride at the back and ride with some really experienced motorcycle riders. But I think you got to ride either Harley, an Indian, or, some kind of American bike, right? But other than that, I think you're good to go. What's up? What's the matter, you? Hey, how you looking so bad? Woo! I don't know that song that well. That was like when I used to listen to the Dr. Demento show on KMET when I was a little kid. You guys from California remember Dr. Demento? And this show tonight is going to be kind of like a Dr. Demento show. We're going to have some fun with police audits. Tiffany Dagley. Hey, Raya Hoot, serious audits, dude. You got to send me some of your videos so I can share them on my Reddit channel. I have a huge Reddit channel now. And those videos, when I share my audit videos and stuff over there, I'll pick up another 200 or 300 views sometimes from the people at Reddit. So it's definitely worth it. That people love police audit videos, and they love it when lawyers break them down. So that's kind of fun. Let me see here. The Leathernecks have a hit out of me because I ride an electric. They wouldn't do that. What's the matter? These guys are cool. They wouldn't do that, but they definitely wouldn't let you ride with them with an electric bike. That's just a no-no. At least as far as I know, unless things have changed. Maybe there's a chapter that would, but I doubt it, man. But let me just kick off my show in the normal, cool way that I like to kick it off, and then I'll share a little bit about the law, and we'll get into some of these fun videos. To another edition of Ask Michael Ehline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. That's right. We never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. That's why you always want to double tap and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that like and subscribe button. I know I don't do it as good as Chili, but do that. Always make sure to double tap, because I shoot in vertical. So you don't normally have the like button. So less people are liking my videos. And I need you guys to hit that like and subscribe button, because that helps me go higher up, in the search results and stuff with the algorithm. And always save as well, guys. Always save that little square where you press save. That's super important, because that's more than anything. That shows the Google and the YouTube gods that you really like my videos. It means that you liked it enough to save it to your favorites. And a lot of people who watch my show are truckers, and like long haul truckers. So I get a lot of people who are checking me out and wanting to see me or listen to me anyways, when they're doing their long hauls. And I get a kick out of that. I'll get people emailing me going, I listened to you all the way from California to North Carolina. I'm like, what? That's wild, dude. I actually have a couple of them trying to figure out, like, how do I deal with all the different gun laws in each state? So I'm trying to do a map to try to help them understand the different gun laws, just in case they don't have a CCW, like how they would carry a weapon in their car legally, if they're a trucker, through each state and all that crazy stuff. So, I'm having a lot of fun with the show. Somebody said something. Yeah, Better Call Saul. That's funny. Better Call Saul. Absolutely. I actually had somebody from Hollywood call me about, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe a little less than that, maybe like 15. And they were asking me, how I became a lawyer without law school and wanted all this information. And then all of a sudden there was a TV series about some guy, I guess, who became a lawyer with no law school. And I never got paid for that. So these guys, looks like they got me, but I have a better story, and my story is a true story. So you can become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, and you can go to law school later, and they'll usually just let you in because you've already passed the bar. So it won't even have to have you take the LSAT, right? Like what kind of a risk are you? So again, so tonight what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk about these pranking guys, the guys who prank police officers, and the legalities. So I'll just get into it with you really quick. Pranking police officers, particularly under the guise of what is called First Amendment auditing, occupies a complex legal space. So here's what I was able to gather. With respect to First Amendment audits, these would not be pranks. If you're doing a true First Amendment audit, you're probably not going to do a prank, but some guys do throw some humor in there. And typically this is going to involve an individual who is exercising their First Amendment rights by recording in public spaces. So this could be cops, this could be filming outside of a restaurant, a bank, wherever, just exercising their First Amendment right. And they're generally going to be protected by the First Amendment, especially with respect to recording police in public places. And this has been affirmed by several U.S. circuit courts. However, the specific act of auditing isn't about pranking. It's about documenting and sometimes challenging unlawful conduct by public servants, especially cops. Now, the legalities of pranking cops, that's different. So if a prank involves impersonating a police officer or harassing them, it could cross into criminal territory. And that's what that's what we're going to get into. And I'll show you some of these videos, and I'll show you where I think it might be traversing into that territory. And it could be illegal in some jurisdictions, depending on, some of these deep South guys like, hey boy, like the Smokey and the Bandit sheriffs, they may not go for it. Even if it's not illegal, it's illegal as far as they're concerned, and they'll put the torture cuffs on you. And that's the end of the story, right, guys? So got to be careful. And then there's interference with duties. Now, any prank that interferes with a police officer's duties, like obstructing or causing a false alarm, I mean, clearly that's going to lead to disorderly conduct or obstruction of justice charges, right? I mean, think about it. But it's contextual, basically. Even if a prank isn't explicitly illegal, it could lead to harm and property damage and complaints like trespassing or even vandalism. So the legal consequences can definitely ensue in a case like that. So you got to be careful when you're out there. You could easily cross the line, is all I'm getting at. You could easily cross the line when you're doing these pranks. And then there's public sentiment and legal boundary issues. Some may see First Amendment audits as a form of activism, but pranking, they may say that crosses the line and that can blur things. And so you might end up with a judge like Chili DeCastro had, where she'll just find you guilty anyways, even if you're not guilty. See, that's the problem. If people don't like you and they don't like your attitude, judges and prosecutors and jurors are people too. And so now, yeah, it may have been unlawful that you got that conviction, but now you've got to pay for an appellate attorney or the conviction stands. Think about that. You pay for an appellate attorney or the conviction stands. And if you don't win your appeal the first time, you might have to go up to a higher court. So that prank that you think you're going to get a million views for, you better make sure that prank is going to be able to cover, probably $100,000 or more worth of legal fees. So think about that, guys. I mean, if you really want to fight it and think that you're going to win, that's kind of where you're going to, that's kind of, it's kind of a scary thing when you think about it. So just keep that in mind. So basically, if you get aggressive or the cop gets too aggressive, you could be putting your life on the line with some of these audits. But, that being said, let's get into the first one. And some of you may have seen this, but this is the first time. You got to understand, guys, I practice law, and I'll work sometimes 18 hours a day. So I don't spend all my time on YouTube. I don't really have a lot of time right now. I'd rather be at the gym, to be honest, because I need to train. But I've got so many people pushing me to do these shows. I almost feel guilty to not do them. So this one's good. We're going to have some fun with this. Let me see here. Let me see here. Roger Lane says they judge on appearance, not righteous judgment. Yeah, that's true. And let me see here. Can you give me a line for my Trump Biden fanfic? I don't know what that is. What's the matter, you and GTA? What's up, Copster 5150? Good seeing you, man. And let me see, Roger Lane. Looks like I got a pretty decent house now. We got about close to 200 people in the chat. So let's get into my first video. And this is called Asking Cops Some Silly Questions They Ask Us. And this is in Arizona. And this is James Freeman. And I've actually reached out to James Freeman before. And I think James Freeman is pretty legit. And I'd love to talk to James Freeman just to see where he's at. If we're on the, I think we're on the same page in a lot of ways. I just think there's like this stigma against lawyers because of the bar or whatever. But honestly, if I wasn't a lawyer, I wouldn't be able to help people like Chili or James Freeman or any of these guys. And I remember my backstory is that I was beat up by a West Covina cop. And that's what encouraged me to become a lawyer. And now I'm here kind of doing what I should have been doing all the time, which is government accountability operations online. So let's get into this. Only a 3-minute video, but man, my stomach is still sore from watching this last night. So let's get into it.
Are you with somebody in particular? Or
just me.
Watching you take pictures of our parking lot. What's this about?
Is that a problem?
Yeah, this is a police law enforcement parking lot. Yeah, it is a problem.
Hey, Rami.
Who are you?
I'm Detective Mike Jardine.
Oh, yeah? What are you working on? What are you working on right now?
Several cases.
Okay.
What is this about?
Are you working on something right now?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
All right, what are you working on? What are you working on?
It doesn't matter what I'm working on. I'm asking you, what are you doing?
That's how we should be talking to them.
Where have you been today? Have you been here all day, or have you been out and about a little bit?
What is this about?
What's up, Chili?
I'm asking the questions. Where have you been today?
No,
have you been here?
I'm asking the questions. You're on this property. You're on this property, so you need to answer my questions.
Are you drunk? Why are you slurring your words today? So have you been here all day, or have you been out? Have you been to the bar today at all?
Who are you?
Don't worry.
Have you been to the bar today?
Who are you?
I'm an investigator.
Investigator for who?
Investigative journalist. I investigate corrupt officials.
First time I saw
so
this
I'm wondering,
last night.
where have you been today? Have you been here all day, or have you been out at the bar at all?
Working on a fraud case. That's
Okay.
where I've been.
Okay. Have you been to the bar at all today?
No.
Okay. You got any drugs on you? Have you used any drugs today?
What a ridiculous question.
That's not a ridiculous question. Do you know where he's been today?
I don't keep tabs on him.
Okay.
On and about.
Do you know what time his shift started?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Does he usually drink on the job, or
Good seeing you, Chili.
no? Not that anybody knows of for sure. Have you guys ever breathalyzed him while he's been on the job? Would you submit to a breathalyzer for me right now?
You're ridiculous. You know that?
Hey.
You've got about 5 minutes to get out of here right now.
Or what?
Or what? You're on
My
law
property.
enforcement. This isn't your
Yeah, it is.
property.
Shut the hell up. Get out of here now.
What'd you say?
I said shut up and get out
No,
of here.
you get out of here now.
Hey, you better get your boy. Get your butt back in your office
You
and do
shut
your
up.
job.
You shut up and get
You
out
get
of
your
here.
butt back in your office and do your job.
No. No.
You quit drinking on the job. You understand me? You punk ass. You get your ass back in there. You don't look back here again. I'll be watching you. You are now under investigation.
To be clear, it has not been proven that Detective Mike Jardine is or was drinking on the
Oh
job.
my God, that was freaking classic, guys. Okay, so guys, this Freeman guy, I saw this for the first time last night. One of my subscribing members sent this to me and said, "We liked the show that you did tonight, but there are way better videos out there. Check this one out." So I showed this to my wife, and both of us, our stomachs are still sore from watching this video. I mean, it's really funny. Chili, this dude is freaking hilarious, bro. How come you never tell me about this? So Chili, tonight I'm dedicating a show to like kind of cop watcher pranks, but I'm going to get into some serious stuff, and I just discussed some of the legalities as well. So it's not just going to be me doing the backyard kind of stuff. You know, I'm just trying to. Last night, dude, I got like almost 150,000 views last night just from doing like pranking videos. And so it's helping me build my audience. And as a result, I was able to play some stuff from the 10th Amendment Foundation. I think it's called the 10th Amendment Foundation, but you know who they are. And so it gives me an opportunity to like bring in new people and then share a little bit about the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. So it's a little kind of fun, you know. So that was that one. So I got this other one. And by the way, guys, in that particular video, this cop, I don't know if you noticed, but let me see if I can get his face. Look at his face. He's trying not to laugh. So, I mean, dude, Freeman got him. This cop is trying to hold it in. It totally reminds me of like how my Marine buddies are. Like, even though we want to be all serious, like hoorah and all this stuff, like sometimes you just can't help but laugh. And so I just thought that was cool that Freeman was able to kind of use the same tactics that police use on us back on the police. And I think that the cops realized what he was doing, and they probably realized how stupid they sound to people like me or Chili, who are critical thinkers, right? If you're a critical thinker and someone comes up to you, where are you headed today? It's like, what the F does it matter where I'm headed today? Why are you here, dude? Why are you asking me where I'm headed? Are you trying to get me to participate in an investigation against myself? I mean, what's going on, you know? So it's just kind of funny. I just had a great time with that video. Here's another one. This one's a little bit longer. And this is another one of these guys who I think is hilarious. And let's get into it. And hopefully Chili, it will stick around and he can make some comments. Guys, everybody, give me a bunch of ones for Chili DeCastro. He's my buddy, and he's the one who made me be here. If it wasn't for Chili, I wouldn't even be doing any of these shows. So thank Chili for giving me my start and teaching me how to use StreamYard, and give him a bunch of ones, and make sure to like and subscribe to his channel. And as far as I go, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Nassau County Police Department.
No, I heard you.
I will confiscate this from you right now. If you don't leave this building right now,
No.
leave the building.
You can't walk into my precinct and just start filming. You may not do that. Okay?
Hope your dog's
Got any
okay,
idea or
Chili.
anything, sir?
You're not
How's it
allowed
going,
to
guys?
do
I'm
it.
just doing a quick seal sweep. Oh, 1 second.
I think we're done now. Okay? You got your information you need.
Oh,
I always got your back,
yeah,
Chili.
just do a seal
100.
sweep.
Turn that off, please.
But I have to do my seal sweep.
Turn that off, please.
I'm with Clandestine Operations.
Turn that off.
You're recording. You gotta shut
Step
that
outside
off.
of the
No,
building.
I'm with Clandestine Operations.
You gotta shut it off.
Step outside the building.
He's got a clipboard with nothing on it.
Oh, okay. Is this the public part of the building? I'm just wondering.
Doesn't make any difference. You can't record it. It's a courthouse.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going into the courtroom.
This is a courthouse. You're in a courthouse right now.
Shut it off.
And notice how he tries to use the same voice as Reyes, right? He tries to use that same kind of the Long Island audit guy. And then look at his clipboard. There's no paper on it. I mean, dude, this guy is freaking hilarious.
You're doing a what?
A CO sweep.
This building is a lockdown.
Isn't this the public lobby part?
This part right here is yes.
Yes, I'm doing a CO sweep here.
You're not recording.
He's recording because I'm watching a recording.
Me too.
No, I'm doing a CO sweep.
I don't care what you're doing. You're recording. Step outside the building, please.
Get out of the
I
building.
kind of wanted to do
Because
my
I'm
seal.
security. I'm telling you to leave the building or I'll call the cops.
Okay, that's fine. But isn't this a public
There's
area?
no
though?
public nothing. It's a courthouse, a private property.
Public
Isn't this the
nothing.
You
public?
got too many recordings on you. But I'm not inside the building with recordings in the courthouse.
All right, perfect. He granted me permission for
I
a
don't
CO
care
sweep.
what he said. I'm security and I'm telling you to leave the building.
Oh, but he granted me
Stop
permission for
taking
the
your
CO
finger
sweep.
off the button. Take your finger off the button.
No, do you mind if I do my CO sweep
Yeah,
here?
I mind very much. I mind if you leave the building right now or I will call the police
Oh,
department.
no, don't
No,
talk this.
I'm going to do that if you don't leave now.
I'm above them.
I don't care what you want.
And then he granted me permission to do my
You
CO
didn't
sweep.
grant the police no
Clandestine
reason.
operations.
You're going to be arrested
For what?
for trespassing. Now leave the building right now. Get
I
out
said
of
do
this
my CO
building.
sweep.
Shut the fuck up. I will confiscate this from you right now. If you don't leave this building right now,
No.
leave the building. If you got me on tape, I don't care.
Okay, I have good news, sir. I've actually approved the whole place except for
I
underneath
don't
it.
want to hear it already now.
We're about
I don't
98%.
want to hear it already now.
I just gotta check underneath your jacket real quick just to see if there's anything clandestine over there.
You do one more thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna get out of here.
One more
No,
thing here.
out of the building. You're not
How's it
allowed
going,
to
guys?
do
I'm
it.
just doing a quick CO sweep. Oh, one second.
You're
Oh, guys,
been here 3 times
there's
already.
something
You've seen the
clandestine?
video. He does not
we're
want
just
to take
we're just gonna check out the clandestine activities going on in the
He's
building real
trying to
quick.
take pictures and He keeps saying the same thing. He's been here 3 times. Bill,
So you can't come in right
Are you open to the public?
Yeah, Sean Reyes. He's trying to copy Sean Reyes.
now. 1
for
second.
you.
Okay.
Foot
Do
back.
you mind if I just go in and do my CO sweep?
You can't come upstairs.
Oh no, I won't. Yeah. No, because what I'm doing is legal, sir. Let's just check out what clandestine activities going on here.
What are you doing?
That's
I'll
right,
just do a
Chewy.
quick
We don't
CS.
stop, homie.
You guys are really chill. You mind if I just get in real quick?
No, you can't. What the hell is clandestine operation?
We're operating as a free press and we're doing a clandestine operations investigation on the publicly accessible lobby.
I've seen videos on this. I know what he's doing.
Can't film
He's
it.
not gonna do
Have you seen other clandestine operations officers?
Get your foot out
it.
of
If
the
you
door.
put out the door now, you've
Or
been
I'm
more
gonna
than
call
3 times.
Nassau County cops.
That's
right
what I
now.
told you.
You're gonna call an asshole what?
Nassau County cops will be here in 2 minutes. You don't get that foot out of the door.
Why they're not asshole cops?
I said Nassau,
Nassau County Police
No,
Department.
I heard you say you're gonna call asshole cops.
No, we did not say that.
Sir, that's not nice to law enforcement. Something clandestine's going on in here. That was a clandestine foot kick there. So we're going to continue investigating due to the clandestine activities that are going on in this village courthouse here. What's going on in here?
10 minutes?
That's enough time for him to cover up his clandestine activities.
I can't let you in. It's closed.
I'm just doing my CO sweep.
CO sweep.
I'm just doing my CO sweep real quick.
No, you got,
Isn't it open to the public? Or
no, it's closed right now. Though. It's closed, temporarily closed.
oh, it's the hours are on the door or whatever.
It's temporarily closed.
But that's only to cover up clandestine activities. I can
All
accept
right, you
that.
gotta back off, right?
Just squeeze in. Please
Just watch your foot. I don't want to knock you down the stairs, but you gotta move.
toss that in there real quick.
No.
His clipboard. There's nothing on it.
The 5th precinct.
Officer Ryan 4166. Nice to meet you.
What seems to be going on?
We're just doing a CO sweep.
You say CO, carbon monoxide?
No, that'd be CM.
Is it a government agency?
Oh, we're operating as the free press.
Okay. That does not offer you free reign of government facilities. You understand that, correct?
I understand that it doesn't
Okay.
give me access to restricted areas.
It's at their discretion so that there's not interference with the operations of the day.
How's it going,
Do you
officer?
have a press pass?
Oh, yes, I thought you'd never ask. Yes, sir.
Can I take a look at it, sir?
Yes, sir. You may.
I'm Sergeant Surlo from the 5th Precinct.
Sergeant Surlo, how do you spell that, sir?
Surrillo. From the 5th Precinct.
Sergeant Surlo, nice to meet you. Yeah, so there's my press pass there.
Okay, so obviously this is not an official press pass.
Yes, it is.
It's or whatever. I'm going to consider it a whatever. Again,
No, that's or
so,
whatever. That's
so the point is, this piece of
that legitimate press pass. Yes,
that
CS.
I'm just going to make
Right.
a mark of.
CM.
for sure.
This is.
And do you want to keep that copy?
No,
I have other.
CS would be
You're
tear
agreeing
gas,
with me
right?
that this is a ripped off corner of piece of notepad
No, that's a
that
press.
has in ink, in handwritten ink, it just says press or whatever. Is that what this says?
No, that's a
It
press pass.
is that what this says?
I'm not.
Can you read that for me? I'm going to put it on your camera. I
Okay.
put it on my camera. Just read to me what your
Okay,
pass says.
I'll start reading. This official press
Okay,
pass
so
grants
no,
permission.
that's-
No, you're not letting me finish reading
All
it.
right, okay.
You got any ID or anything, sir?
Oh no, I don't, sir.
don't have anything on
Is
you?
my press pass good enough?
No. Do you have any ID on you?
No, I don't.
Did you draw? Like, how did you get here?
I did like random stuff.
You what?
I did random stuff. I got you.
We just want to make sure that the nobody's rights are stepped upon. But it's iffy on recording within government buildings also. What if you're trying to eye up to do something wrong?
That'd be clandestine, so I'd have to investigate myself.
Right. Well, we don't know that since you won't give us any information. Now you see our impasse.
You're a press pass?
No, impasse.
Oh, I thought you said press pass. I was about to say, can I have that?
Forget the agency that issues press passes.
Yeah, the one I went through, it should be on the back of it. If you see on the back at the bottom right.
Yeah.
Next to the barcode?
Nada.
Yeah, right next to the barcode.
There is no barcode. This has no barcode.
You covered up with your thumb, the barcode.
No, I'm still there.
It's like a QR code
Both
scanning.
sides, I did it with, I held it from the left side, I held it from the right side. There is no barcode on this. I mean, government facilities aren't just free willy-nilly to the public. You can't walk into my precinct and just start filming. You're not allowed. You may not do that. That's not necessarily public. That's a government building. Certain buildings have certain rules and regulations to them.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's for the safety. It's not for secrecy or government building. It's not a public building.
So that's what I'm trying to find out. So it's not a public building.
It's a government building. It has its own rules and regulations according to.
He sounds just like Sean Reyes, man. It's just cracking me up. This guy is freaking hilarious.
Their internal rules and rights. People are allowed in. I'm going to use that store across the street. Yeah, it's open to the public. You can go in, but if they have the right for
Yeah,
refusal.
he is.
But
He
wouldn't
is
that be like
Antarctic King.
privately owned as opposed to publicly owned?
It's not open to the public like that, no.
So is it publicly owned though? I'm just trying to.
I'm sure the taxpayers at some point or another own it.
Yeah, we can't enforce the policy. We're in agreement with that.
Oh,
Get somewhere warm.
TREE. Yeah.
COO.
Trying to go Medi? Hot box. Even now that it's legal, Beagle?
You can't do it. It's illegal federal.
There you go.
What if you chill with me while I Medi?
No.
Let's go.
You guys know what that is, right? Smoking weed, hotboxing. Like, are you guys gonna go medi, like medical marijuana? Freaking hilarious.
These guys are following me around. Keep doing loops, just follow me around, not waving. Super clandestine activity from them.
Clandestine
Taking
activity.
pictures. I think she has a guilty conscience. There might be some clandestine activity over here. We might have to investigate. Let's see.
This guy's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, some smells clandestine in that room.
His clipboard's got nothing on it.
Kind of, it's like a low-key thing.
Hilarious.
All right. Do you have like a business card?
Press credentials, does that count?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Here's my press credentials. And, yeah.
All right. I can help you find anything you need.
I appreciate you, officer.
No problem.
Yeah, you seem chill. You seem cool.
We're
You
here
seem
to
cool.
help.
Appreciate you.
It's a public building.
Yeah,
Fine,
yeah, right.
man.
Yeah, right.
So cool. Wow. Awesome. We're just doing a CO sweep. We're just doing a CO sweep. We're just doing a CO sweep. I'm with clandestine operations. We're just doing a CO sweep.
Who are you with?
Oh, with CO. Yeah, we're just doing a CO sweep. Clandestine operations.
It's a reaction. That's right. It's a reaction.
You can't be video on this floor.
Oh, is there anything clandestine on the floor? We're just doing a CO sweep. It's clandestine operations.
This is a public area. He could be right here. Okay, and that's what he's doing, so.
Yeah, just making sure there's nothing clandestine over here.
Going back down?
Oh, yeah. About 30 seconds. I just got to think about my next move. Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you sticking up for me there.
Get my supervisor. He's not with you, right? I'm following him right now. I'm close.
We're just looking for clandestine activity. You're familiar with clandestine operations, right? Just ran off. I did hear you say you're calling a supervisor. Should I wait for the supervisor?
This guy looks like three cameras on him.
COs?
Yeah, but clandestine operations. Operating as the free press.
Oh, we asked that you don't film in the courthouse.
Oh, yeah, well, I won't go into the courtroom. I understand.
Well, this is actually considered part of the courthouse because of the logistics of it. So, I mean, you could look around yourself, but please refrain from videotaping. We'll have to ask you to leave the floor.
Now, just a quick question. Can I look through the camera because it gives like a clear picture? It saturates
You
the.
can't use the camera.
If I'm not recording, can I like look through the lens just to view, like almost like they're my glasses?
That would be unnecessary. Sorry. I mean,
If it helps me see better, if things are like blurry when I don't look through the camera, can I look through it?
I've never seen a camera that helps with vision. Sorry, but this is.
Yeah. I just zoom with that. I can see really, really crisp.
So I'm asking you, please refrain from the filming. This is a courthouse. You are not to film there.
Okay, but technically speaking, officer, are we in the public lobby area?
No, this, because of the elevator situation and coming, this is the courthouse. You're in it now.
Hey, how's it going? Good, officer. Inspector Diploma. I'm with Clandestine Operations. We're just doing a CO sweep, operating through the free press.
A CO sweep?
Yeah, yes, sir.
What's a CO? I don't know what that is.
Oh, just a basic sweep of the building for clandestine activities. I was just kind of getting a clandestine vibe over here.
Clandestine vibe?
Yeah, so we're just super quick CO sweep. Then doing some other business, and then I'll be out of here.
Oh, let's take care of business. You're good to go.
Oh, yeah, appreciate that. All right, awesome.
Thanks. All right.
Okay.
Full on crew. My gosh.
You sure nothing clandestine is going on over here? Blink twice for clandestine activity.
I think we're done now, okay? You got your information you need.
Oh, yeah, I'm just doing
Make sure you get a picture of this too. The rules that says you can't record on this floor. You have a good day.
You too.
And good luck with whatever it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, CO sweep. I'm with Clandestine Operations. Yes. Have you ever experienced clandestine operations in here before?
No, sir.
Oh, good. No, it's a good thing.
Have you ever been here before?
It's a good thing for the community. This guy potentially could be clandestine as well. Get back to it. Investigate.
You from the area?
Oh, guys, I'm just cracking up right now. So I forgot the dude's name. Throw it in the sidebar for me. I'm going to share his video with you guys because I thought that was just the funniest thing ever. Man, that guy is just cracking me up. Hold on a second. All right. So anyway, so that was the second one. So the first one was Freeman, and then this dude is to Apri, and he is really freaking doggone funny. All right. So now, as far as the legalities go, I don't see that he broke any regulations. And as far as filming in courthouses go, my understanding is public lobbies are public lobbies, and there can be reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. However, most courthouses are subject to the rules of the presiding judge, and the presiding judge typically can make rules saying whether or not you can film in the courthouse. Well, not really saying you can, but where you can film, because it is a public area. They do have to make allotments. They do have to make allotments for where you can film. So in Los Angeles, for example, they have like this wall where the press can go, and they have to film towards this wall, and it's sort of like a section like this. So other people in the courthouse can't be filmed, and they give all kinds of different reasons. One of them might be because there might be minors in there. There might be a family law dispute, so they want to protect the children, et cetera, et cetera. Could be a kingpin in there, right? As somebody who's entered into a plea agreement with a government agency who may be testifying as a witness, so they don't want to have that on tape. And then in like the case of Chili DeCastro in Nevada, they allowed the press to come in, like our Nevada judges, for example, they were allowed to come in and sit in the audience in a designated part of the courtroom, but their cameras were not allowed to pan over to where the jurors are. And that's to protect the identities and the privacy of the jurors, because they could be potentially threatened, for example. But I think in his case, there were no jurors because it was a trial by judge, but you get the idea, right? So in that case, there was a sign that said, there's no filming allowed. Please take a video of that while you're at it. So, it just depends. Yeah. Now Camaro J says tyrant judges. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm all for more freedom, but still, that was freaking hilarious. You got to admit. So he's funny. Now let's get into the next kind of police prank video. There's another fun one for us.
Oh, man.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning. It's okay if I film you, sir? I'm just kind of nervous around police officers.
No, sir, that's quite all right. The reason I'm stopping you is for speeding, sir.
No, sir.
Were you aware you're going that fast?
No, sir, I didn't. Let me ask you something,
yes, sir.
officer. Are you aware that today's National Donut Day?
I'm sorry, sir?
Are you aware it's National Donut Day?
No, sir, I'm not.
Yes, sir. Today is National Donut Day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So, is there anything we can do? Warning, anything, sir?
No, sir. No, sir. We strictly enforce the speeding rules out here.
Yes, sir. I understand.
May I see your license, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. Hang on just 1 second. There you go, sir. Will this work for you? I can't seem to find my license, but...
You have a good day, sir.
Thank you, officer. I appreciate it very much. Have a good day.
I don't know.
Happy National Day.
That has to be fake, but hopefully you guys had some fun with that. That has to be fake. The cop was just laughing, right, Rami? There's no way that's real. By the way, Rami, thanks for helping me try to push my book. So by the way, besides giving me a super chat or a super whatever, another way to support my channel is to pick up a copy of my ebook, My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. And I just take you on my journey of how you can become a lawyer on the California State Bar Law Office Study Program with no undergrad or a law degree. It's a 4-year program. You've got to pass the baby bar, like the girl who went to the P. Diddy parties. Bruce Jenner was her dad, who became a chick. Man, I forgot who she is, but you get the idea. She passed the baby bar after, I think, her 3rd or 4th attempt. So it's really, really hard. But once you pass it, then you've got I think another 3 years and you can take the real bar exam. So it's a nightmare. But I did it. I passed the baby bar and I passed the real bar, and I'm a practicing attorney. And so my book talks about my experiences on the California State Bar Law Office Study Program. And it's a living ebook. So it's not this softcover book. It's an ebook, and it's $19.99, and it's living. So as I make changes or edit the book, you guys will see those changes in real time on your version. So it's pretty cool. And it's only $19.99, and it helps me run my channel, because like right now, for example, my wife has taken my son to judo, and normally she would want me to do that. So anything you can do to support the channel, to, because let's face it, when you're married, your wife's number one concern is provisions, right? How are we going to feed the family? So, if she thinks I'm up here goofing around watching fake Sean Reyes videos, she's going to be less likely to give me permission. Let's face it, your wife pretty much runs the roost. Your job is to go out and kill the meat. And when you're back in the village, your wife handles everything else. So that's the way it works, at least in my family, in the traditional Viking family, which I'm a Swedish Viking warrior. That's how we do things. And she's my shield maiden, right? Give me a bunch of ones for my shield maiden, guys. All right, so let's get into the next one. And by the way, this sort of plays into being a Viking warrior, because we were about trial by battle. Before, the Germanic trials were trial by battle. So the way you would prove your guilt or innocence is you would challenge the person accusing you, and you'd get in a pit in front of the chieftains or whatever, and the high elders, and you would have a trial by battle, and whoever won the battle was telling the truth. And that's honestly how it's called, trial by battle. So this video is going to talk a little bit about kind of a trial by battle situation. Let's check it out.
You're not allowed to film when I have the right to reasonable privacy. I'm not in a public spot. I'm in my car. I have my children in my car, so I'd appreciate if you respect the laws.
I am respecting the laws. I would expect you to respect the laws. I'm on a public sidewalk.
Everyone's got an issue with you, dog, and you spray that. I swear to God, dog, try it. And if you post any of this, I can sue you and take all your shit.
Do not deal with my
I will
personal
pull
stuff.
this knife and stab you.
So you're threatening?
You know what? I feel threatened right now, and I'm about to defend myself.
I bet your dispatch is telling you to disengage.
Washington's a mutual combat state, so would you like to
disengage? It is not a stand your ground state.
It's a mutual combat. Would you like to
No, there is no mutual combat in Washington State.
Yes, there is, sir. Would you like to engage in mutual combat? I got 2 officers here.
Hello, and welcome back to Legal
Would you
Dissent,
like to
where we
engage
evaluate
in
your
mutual
constitutional
combat?
rights before they're taken away. On July 11th, 1804, 2 men engaged in mutual combat, drawing pistols at 7 a.m. in Weehawken, New Jersey. Reports stated that Alexander Hamilton raised his firearm into the air and intentionally fired into the sky as Aaron Burr shot Hamilton in the stomach, fatally wounding him and causing his death the very next day. Duels have littered our history books and have changed the course of nations. But do they still happen today, and are they legal? Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, if you enjoy our content, please do consider subscribing, liking, and interacting with us in the comments below. It really does help us create more content for you to enjoy. A subscriber submitted a video asking us what were the rules that govern the doctrine of mutual combat. Yeah, this is not a topic I thought we'd be covering either, but it is pretty interesting. There are a few other topics that come up during this encounter that we will mention, but we will not dive into them as deeply as we normally would. The YouTuber No Bones Press was filming in public at a liquor store located at a shopping center in Rochester, Washington. He was approached a couple of times by staff of the businesses located within the shopping center, but no real conversations of note. The police even stopped him while he was walking down the street to check in on him and let him know he was doing nothing wrong. Very civil of them. The issue begins when he films an individual sitting in a car, which is visible from the public sidewalk.
Why are you filming me in my car? I got my kids in my car.
Why is he wearing a face
Washington
diaper?
State is a 2-consent state. 2-party consent. You're not allowed to film when I have the right to reasonable privacy. I'm not in a public spot. I'm in my car. I have my children in my car, so I'd appreciate if you respect the laws.
I am respecting the laws. I would expect you to respect the laws. I'm on a public sidewalk. Whatever I see, I record.
With the
First Amendment.
Dude, without exception of reasonable
Cops just stopped
privacy.
and talked to me. No issue. Please disengage, sir.
Let me disengage. I got my kids in the car. That's expectation of reasonable privacy.
You're in public.
No, expectation of reasonable privacy is my vehicle, my bathroom, or my car.
I can see through your window.
So that's not true. When you're in a public place, being inside of a car does not mean that you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. Now, if he was in a leased limousine and he had blacked out windows and somebody tried to like put a, sneak a camera in there somehow, that would be a violation. But no, he's perfectly within his rights to record in public, guys.
No, there's no privacy. Tint your windows.
No bones pressed is correct.
Tint your windows.
The vehicle is visible from publicly accessible property, and he is able to record. We've covered this issue in multiple videos before, so we won't spend a lot of time evaluating this. But except for specialized peeping Tom laws, generally, if you're able to see it in public, you're able to record it.
So you're out here just causing problems is what you're doing.
I haven't caused any problems. You're the one that approached me. I was going on.
Kids, go on your way.
Go on your
street.
Go on your way.
You know what? Are you like from Portland? Are you even from around here? Are you even freaking from around here?
Why is
Step closer again, sir, and I will defend myself.
Hey, you spraying with that? I'll be jumping you next.
Oh, so it's you causing problems. You already got in my face.
Weapon on me.
You already got in my face.
I don't give a. Everyone got an issue with you, dog, and you sprayed. I swear to God, dog. Try it.
So he's going to defend himself with a weapon.
Yeah, I will defend myself with pepper spray, according to the Washington RCW.
Who gives a? And if you post any of this, I can sue you and.
Go ahead. It'll be on YouTube tonight, sir.
Okay, cool. Just know that they can delete it too. I hope you know that.
Talk to my attorney, sir.
If you are recorded in public, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy, and therefore that footage can be uploaded to the internet and sites like YouTube.
Find you spray us with pepper spray. I'll beat the
called self-defense.
Look up the RCW. We're sitting here recording you. Nobody's recording you. We're recording you. Nobody's touching you.
Do not deal with my personal
space. Stab you.
So you're threatening with the weapon now.
You have a weapon in your damn hand, you idiot.
It's non-deadly. A knife is deadly. Learn the circumstance and the definition.
That can blind somebody. They don't use that for a bear for nothing. You
bear spray, you dumbass.
Okay.
People have the right to defend themselves. And in the state of Washington, they create an affirmative defense for self-defense in RCW section 9A.16.020. Basically, you have to be reasonable in believing that someone is about to hurt you or commit a felony against you. However, an important caveat is that the use of force must not be more than necessary. Using a knife against someone with pepper spray does not seem reasonable to me because one is lethal and the other is not. Fortunately, neither is used in this situation.
You know what? I feel threatened right now.
Now, there's another issue that I want to point out to my viewers is that they're approaching him with weapons. Okay. So they're actually creating the danger by coming towards him. Think about that. If I was on the jury and there was an attack where they attacked this guy with a knife, automatically I'm going to assume that these guys are the initial aggressors. And the initial aggressor in most cases loses. So think about that, guys.
And I'm about to defend myself.
Back up. Back up. You just approached me for the third time.
Threatened. Back
you
up.
just approached me for the third
I feel
time.
threatened. Back up, or I'm going to
I bet your dispatch is telling you to disengage.
You know, Washington's a mutual combat state, so would you like to
engage? It is not a stand your ground state.
It's a mutual combat. Would you like to
No, there is no mutual combat in Washington state.
Yes, there is, sir.
So now we get to the topic of mutual combat. What is it and is it legal?
Right.
First, there is no law in the state of Washington or any state for that matter, that prescribes any type of mutual combat law or allows duels to be fought through statutory law.
Right.
Mutual combat finds its roots in common law. Common law is the area of law that is derived from custom and judicial precedent as opposed to statutes created by your state or federal legislators. You see this principle exhibited in violent contact sports like football, boxing, or mixed martial arts that allows individuals to strike, hit, tackle, and engage in physical altercations, which in everyday life could result in criminal charges being filed. As long as the damage or the severity of the battery was reasonably foreseeable to what the individual consented to. For example, a quarterback being sacked and experiencing a broken arm from the tackle that did not violate the rules put in place by the National Football League would not be prosecutable or liable for a civil claim.
Well, that's a little bit different. That's a principle called voluntary assumption of the risk. And that's typically going to be more related to a sporting activity, right? But bringing a knife to a gunfight would not be. So bringing a knife to a pepper spray fight is not something that you would voluntarily assume. Let's keep going.
claim. But if the defensive player ripped off the quarterback's helmet and then began bludgeoning him with it, I would expect criminal charges to be filed.
Right.
Mutual combat in a street fighting sense, especially in Seattle, Washington, was made popular by the YouTuber and self-proclaimed superhero Phoenix Jones, who was a MMA fighter turned vigilante who roamed the streets of Seattle with a band of costumed individuals who served as a sort of neighborhood watch and would beat up people who agreed to mutual combat. His story is actually really interesting, and if you would like me to make a video about his exploits from a legal perspective, leave a like on this video. And if we get over 2,000 likes, I'll go ahead and make one. What it comes down to is that mutual combat is basically a gentleman's agreement that if you fight, you don't tell the cops, and you do not participate in the prosecution. No witness, no crime. However, having someone agree to mutual combat for a street fight will not protect you from prosecution or civil liability if the other individual wants to pursue those courses of action. Mutual combat is not recognized as a defense at all in any civil case and is considered a long shot in most criminal procedures. So to answer the question, mutual combat is not a great defense and would just be evidence included in a standard self-defense argument. And we do not recommend that you or anyone engage.
Everybody give me a bunch of ones for Plead the Fifth for hooking me up with a super sticker. And please make sure to like and subscribe to Plead the Fifth. And also make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to support my channel, guys, so we can keep coming back and doing this again.
Ages in this type of conduct.
You're not walking down the sidewalk, dude.
I was.
Putting the cameras in front of people's faces on purpose.
Never got it put in front of your face. Can you guys tell them like you just talked to me? They're walking down the sidewalk. It's public. See, he's approaching me again. See, that's a confrontation. Back the fuck out of my space.
He was deliberately putting the camera and recording us on purpose, like everybody over there.
How did I come into your car?
Washington State law suggests right to report trouble, but I have the right to reasonable privacy. He can't come up. If I'm in a reasonable privacy place, my bathroom, my home, my vehicle, he can't come up.
What I can see from public, I can record.
Everybody give me a bunch of ones for Chevy. By the way, anybody who gives me a super chat or buys a copy of my book, your chats and your questions go to the front of the line. I'm always available to answer questions while I'm here online. Any super chats, any stickers, whatever, you know, if it's a question that I can answer, I'll answer it. If it's a joke or a rhyme or whatever, I'll try to answer it as best as I can.
Private property.
I can see you.
I'm on private property. I'm conducting my business at Key Bank. That's private
I can see you.
Okay, so then he can do that. He can come up and
So
film
what
my
about
children.
over there then?
Take my
He was
license
over there in that
plate.
parking lot. So when I got in a rear end accident right there, they said it was private property. So how is that true?
I was not in the parking lot.
And then what about threatening me with mace?
So he's saying he's gonna put it on YouTube. I can sue him for that technically.
You're not allowed to put it on
just looked
social
up on
media.
Google, man. Google, well, either way.
Roger Lane, you guys are too kind.
Why are you guys?
Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have done that, Roger. I mean, at $20, I mean, that's, man, you guys are you didn't have to do it. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, Roger. You guys made my night. You know, it really does touch me because I remember, and I don't know if you guys have money or not. You know, but I remember when I was sleeping on park benches, and just to know that some of you guys might be struggling. But at the same token, I know I provide better content than the Communist News Network or PMSNBC. Give me a bunch of ones for that. At least I give you guys something that's of value, not just a bunch of crap. These freaking commie-run a-holes in the news media, right? Give me some ones for that at least. And hit that like and subscribe button.
Not the guy out here causing problems.
You called.
For a threat.
You called.
The officers actually do a decent job here of informing the complainants that they have no reasonable expectation of privacy in public and that they are not able to sue him for posting the footage onto YouTube. The issue begins when the officers tell the auditor to stop talking so that they can listen to the other guys. And then the auditor walks into the middle of the street to film the police car. The video does freeze for a little bit here, but we can still hear the audio.
I pay taxes too, thank you.
So I'm being harassed right now.
No, sir, you approached me several times. You called them.
Talking. I want to file a harassment. I want him identified, and I want to file a harassment.
What law is that, sir?
What law?
That I can't say my piece.
You can say your piece, but let us talk, okay?
I'm not interrupting you guys.
When we're trying to discuss things and you're yelling over top of us, it makes it difficult.
I'm not over talking you guys. I'm over talking the asshole.
You're doing it right now. Just hold on, okay?
How come I can't report harassment?
The cop's actually being pretty cool.
It is fucking weird.
Those dudes are out of control.
No, that's
Now you're walking in the street, dude, down the street.
Your safety ain't my concern.
No, your safety is my concern. Out of the street, please.
Do not put your hands on me.
Out of the street.
Do not put your hands on me.
Out of the street.
You need to get out of the street, though.
Why?
Because you're in traffic.
What traffic, sir?
You're on a roadway, dude.
What traffic?
Okay. You're okay.
All right, easy, easy.
What is this all about?
You're not listening.
What? I'm not listening. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. But
Please give me a command.
Okay.
Please give me a command. Please give me a command.
Put your hands behind your back.
My hands are behind my back, so why is he still twisting me?
Well, you just hold on to you. Just don't resist.
I can't feel my fingers now.
Well, you're okay. Just relax.
Can you pick up my phone, my camera you just broke?
I didn't break it.
So the officers do have a legitimate reason to want him out of the roadway. For his safety and the safety of passing motorists, it is reasonable for them to escort him out of the street. However, common sense would dictate that tackling him and cuffing him in the middle of that roadway is not the most effective way of accomplishing their purported goal of safety. The auditor does admit he was still holding his pepper spray, and courts would find that a reasonable officer would be threatened by the spray, and therefore I believe that most courts would not find that the officers did anything that violated the law in this situation. Regardless, the police do end up letting him go after giving him a lecture about how filming in public can rub people the wrong way, and they may not be there next time to bail him out. To me, this whole encounter is relatively silly. If the man who was offended by being filmed had just driven away with his family, no one would have cared.
That's right.
Just like the countless other drivers of vehicles that passed by in this video. In this internet era of Karens and overly dramatic meltdowns in public, acting like a reasonable human being goes a long way, and discretion is often.
So what's the matter? You says it's not reasonable, and I would say that what's the matter? You is probably right. The problem is, guys, is when I say it would be deemed reasonable, you gotta look at what we have to deal with in the real world, and so a jury or a judge, like you get a judge like Chili DeCastro had. They're going to go along with whoever the cops did. So the best thing that we saw is that the cops were able to break it up because the one dude came at the guy with the knife, right? That's one of the problems that we have with the prankster type auditors is some of these guys may be a little 5150, like, you know, sometimes cops are 5150, right? Cops are 5150. One of my guys is on Team MPE is cops are 5150. So what I try to do is, look, I'm a pretty evenly keeled guy, right? I wasn't always. I was a pretty crazy jarhead. Used to face off with cops all the time. When we had the bigger cameras, you know, they would smash me and my friends' cameras, and they'd be upset about our British West Indies license plates or the fact that we didn't have to have driver's licenses and we wanted to use our passports and stuff like that. They didn't like it. So, you know, over time, after getting beat up by that West Covina cop, I decided, you know what, two can play at that game. Whoa. And so I became a lawyer. Then I realized, oh my gosh, it takes a lot of money to be a lawyer. I've got to actually be able to make a living now. And so going through that apprenticeship program and studying under judges and lawyers, I developed the ability to be an evenly keeled guy. You know, some people call it maturing or growing or whatever, but I always support people like Chili DeCastro and this Reyes character and people like What's the Matter You, because I believe that we have the right to be what the state or the administrative state wants to say is crazy or unreasonable or whatever, because the Constitution doesn't make an exception that you have to be a conformist. In fact, this is a country that was born in rebellion and revolution. And, you know, I have people in my family who might have Tourette's, people who might have a condition, a crazy uncle. And I want to make sure that whoever is a public servant who's out there on the streets isn't going to beat them up because they talk back. I want the guy who is a reasonable guy who takes his oath to uphold the Constitution the same way I would if I was a cop, right? Like in the Marine Corps, if my command ordered me to fire on civilians, I'd be firing on my command, because the oath to the Constitution is what matters, not what somebody tells you to do, unless it's constitutional and reasonable. So give me a bunch of ones if you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I believe what the cops did was reasonable per se, but I'm saying that a judge or a jury would probably find that it was, and they let the guy go. So that tells me that they probably realized that the dude that was freaking out about being filmed, who didn't just drive away and instead approached the guy with a knife, would have been more trouble than it's worth, because the guy's got him on film doing that. If they arrest him, they're going to have to arrest the other guy. They got to do paperwork. They're going to miss their donuts. They probably won't be able to go to the strip club later and cheat on their wives, or maybe beat their wives later for fun. So it would really mess up their day. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. So let's get in now to the next video. Now, not all the videos are the same. Some of them are going to be in vertical. Some are going to be in horizontal. But this is a prank that goes wrong because, well, you'll see for yourselves.
Can you just grab my bag if you had a hand? Yeah, sorry. It's just a lot of stuff. Baby mama calling, you know. Got to pay the child support. Can you open it up real quick? All right. Nobody's looking, right?
You better not steal this stuff. I'm a cop. I'm a sheriff's officer. You better not be stealing this.
What? Ain't nobody said anything about stealing. That's your cop badge?
That's my cop badge.
Yeah, he was asking me to steal this for him.
I did not actually steal that for you. That's my sheriff's badge.
I think it's fake.
You got 30 seconds to go put that where you
Don't act like you're on the right side now, though, you know.
We're just kidding. We're campaigning a video for anti-theft.
No, he wasn't.
Can you just grab?
So let me I want to share some stuff with you. So if you walk through a store and you start putting stuff in your bag, believe it or not, that's not considered theft. So theft or larceny, whatever you're going to call it, it's the taking with the intent to take it away, to run off with the property. I can't remember the exact definition from law school, but theft and conversion, for example, when you convert something, you have to have the intent to literally take it away. And once he walks out the door, that would show that he probably has the state of mind to convert the property to his own use. So when you have people walking around a store and you see them stuffing stuff in a bag, the only thing they can do is ask you to take it out of your bag and put it back. Until you leave the store, you can't be arrested. Now, there may be some states that do have a rule that says that you could be arrested, but I don't know about those states. I just know as a general legal principle, again, my license is to practice law in California and Texas, and I don't really do criminal defense anymore. I primarily do catastrophic personal injury cases. But because I do that for a living, this is a great way for me to blow off some steam at the end of the night. So at least you got the idea. That was kind of funny. The guy turns out to be a real cop, and they're just doing a prank video. And obviously the guy with the security shirt is another prankster, and they were just trying to do a setup so they could have some fun. So in this case, no harm, no foul. And it looked like the sheriff dude, if he was really a sheriff's deputy, kind of had some fun with it too. So that was kind of cool. Let's get into the next video.
Why am I breaking the law? I'm in public, mate. Relax. Can I just say, before you came out and looked at me, which way was I pointing the camera? It was over there, wasn't it? Right? Oh. Why am I breaking the law?
As far back.
Oh.
Sorry.
Why am I breaking the law? I'm in public, mate. Relax. Can I just say, before you came out and looked at me, which way was I pointing the camera? It was over there, wasn't it? Right? Oh.
So anyways, that one was kind of hit or miss. Look, I'm sharing these because my viewers sent these to me. So hopefully they're not all super funny, but some of them are pretty funny.
This police officer trolled this auditor. No way he did that at the end.
You got a man right here in the red shirt. VIN number. Let's see what we got.
Hey, get out of my car. Get out of my car, dude. Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Who's your supervisor?
Are you serious?
Who's your supervisor? Who's your supervisor?
Right there.
Who's your supervisor?
You need a badge number?
Yeah, I need to know if you
9166.
916.
Yep.
Sure, 916.
I got you, sir.
What you've been
Matter of fact, identify yourself.
No.
Because you made contact with
I'm
me.
not going to.
Yes, you do have
I'm
a
not
duty.
going to.
Okay, well, that's fine. I got you.
I'm not going to.
I got you, and we'll be sure to put you on our watch list.
All right, so I'm going to get everything on that phone, man.
Please do.
I'm going to get it because that's your personal phone.
No,
right?
it's not. That's what you think.
That's what phone is that?
That's what you think.
Shaw, we're going to get everything that's on there.
Get what you need to get.
This police officer trolled this auditor.
So basically, he's okay. So let me just share something with you guys. So that cop, if he's acting in the course and scope of his duties, which he clearly is, anything that he does during the course and scope of his duties is publicly potentially accessible through a public records request. And so if he's using his private phone to conduct state business, well, that could be a problem for him, or county business or whatever. Now, him putting his body inside that vehicle, that clearly was a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So those dudes definitely have the case against him. And again, this is what I keep on trying to pound into you guys. Do you really think a jury is going to award those guys any money? And that's the problem. That's what I was trying to explain with my example with Wasamata. It's like, yeah, it's illegal. It's wrong what the cop did, but are they going to be able to convince a jury of their peers to find in their favor? Right. So, all right. So this is and I'm going to move into a more serious video, which is really what I'm really all about to begin with. But we got a few people in the chat now. Hopefully I got some new people that are taking an interest in my show. I usually pick up around 150 to 200 new subscribers every show that I do. And some of them drop off, but the ones that stick around usually like my stuff because I'm always trying to use this as a funnel, as a magnet to introduce people to their unalienable rights under the Constitution. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. That's probably why you guys support my channel too, because I'm trying to get after the youth, because the commie-run school system does not want us to know, our kids to know, that this is a country born in revolution. And the whole purpose and reason behind our Revolutionary War, it started because the king tried to take away our guns, just like the commies are trying to do right now to this day, trying to come up with any excuse they can to disarm us. Gee, I wonder why. Let's get into it.
If their duty, their honor, and their oaths will not bind them, let us not put into their hands our liberty and all our other great interests. Governor Morris, the penman of the Constitution, the author of the preamble to the Constitution, he did not mince words. But despite that warning, despite that advice, politicians today across the political spectrum, they violate their oath to the Constitution almost constantly, 24/7, 365, and they never seem to pay the price.
Ever.
The people, I think it's out of ignorance or fear, or maybe a lack of self-respect. Their standards are just way too low in what they deserve. Maybe a combination of all of this. They don't hold them to this standard. And on this episode, I've got a bunch of insight, warnings, and advice, and a bunch more great quotes on the oath to the Constitution from the founding generation that we can't afford to ignore any longer. But first of all, before getting to that, welcome and thank you for joining me here on the Path to Liberty. My name is Michael Bolden with the 10th Amendment Center, and this is the show for Monday, November 4th, 2024. Let's start out with some text from the Constitution.
I just dropped
here, Article 2, Section 1, Clause 8.1, Oath of Office for the Presidency. Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Unless you're Slick
and
Willie or
for
Barack
everyone
Obama.
else pretty much in office, there's this, which is in Article 6. They don't spell out the exact text of that oath, and that has gone through legislative changes over the years. But here's how it is in the Constitution. The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution. But there's a caveat. No religious test, and I'll discuss this briefly a little bit later in the show. No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States.
But how can
and
you
so,
take an oath?
as I mentioned, they have changed the text of that oath over time. Here, for example, from the United States Senate,
How
they
can
put
you
it this
take an
way.
oath if you don't
I do
believe in
solemnly
God?
swear or affirm, and we'll discuss affirming here in a little bit as well, that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Enemies of the Constitution. What is that all about? That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter, so help me God. So this oath of office, and there was some debate over it. Some people didn't like it. Some people didn't like the context or the text of it. But it was so important to the vast majority of the founding generation that it was the very first act passed by Congress, and it was the first law signed by the first president,
It's a big deal.
George Washington. That was an act to regulate the time and manner of administering certain oaths. It was signed into law June 1st, 1789, and it prescribed, and this is from the National Archives blogs, it prescribed the text of and procedure for the administration of the oath of office. They write that the act mandated that the oath be administered in the following form. And this is the original version. I do solemnly swear or affirm, as the case may be, that I will support the Constitution of the United States. And it was a simple, straightforward oath they point out, that fulfilled that constitutional requirement in Article 6. This is the first law passed by Congress. Now, in essence, the founding generation understood the oath as basically an appeal to heaven. Here, for example, is Oliver Wolcott, very influential guy in the Connecticut Ratifying Convention. This is in January of 1788. And he said the Constitution enjoins an oath upon all the officers of the United States. This is a direct appeal to that God who is the avenger of perjury. Such an appeal to him, he said, is a full acknowledgement of his being and providence. An acknowledgement of these great truths is all that the gentlemen contend for. And James Iredell, who was one of the top legal minds of the time in the North Carolina Ratifying Convention, top legal scholar, he was nominated to be one of the first associate justices on the Supreme Court by President Washington. And he describes it. He says, according to the modern definition of an oath, it is considered, quote, a solemn appeal to the supreme being for the truth of what is said by a person who believes in the existence of a supreme being. And it
wasn't until recently that if you weren't a Christian or a believer or a man of faith, you were not able to give sworn testimony or be a witness because you didn't fear the punishment of your creator. Keep listening.
Future state of rewards and punishments, according to that from which will bind his conscience most. So this was basically an appeal to say, well, you know, if you believe these things and you don't follow your oath, you are going to have some.
Just like I've told you guys, I believe in life debts. When I give you my word, I'm bound by my oath, just like I'm bound by my oath to the Constitution. Keep listening.
Some problem. It was some kind of an outside pressure. And here from Rob Nadelson in an old paper that he wrote, a law review paper, the original meaning of the Establishment Clause. It's very interesting stuff if you want to get really deep into it. He points out that the view that oaths and theism were necessarily connected was more than just merely a view. It was considered the law. The essence, he said, of an oath was an appeal to God and to witness the truth, appeal to God to witness the truth of what one said. Thus, the oath of an atheist, according to the founders, received no recognition. Or, well, James Madison had some thought on this as well. The English courts ruled so prior to American independence, so this was part of the legal tradition, the system of precedence under the unwritten British Constitution. But American courts, he said, also acknowledged this principle as late as 1823. And if you want to get into that, this is a very long paper. You can get a little bit more detail on some of the things that were covered. And I think that brings me right back to Governor Morris's great quote. This is in the Philadelphia Convention in July of 1787. Again, if their duty, their honor, and their oaths will not bind them, let us not put into their hands our liberty and all our other great interests.
So why would you ever want to vote for some commie pinko ever? They have no loyalty to our nation or to our way of life, our Bill of Rights. This whole country is based upon rights coming from an all-powerful creator, starting with the Declaration of Independence and recognized by these very laws that were the very first acts of Congress.
But he continued and he said two other things. He said, if these ties will bind them, we need not distrust the practicability of the rule. So people were debating like, oh, how do we approach this? What's the right way of doing it? And he's like, look, if you have people of duty and honor and they're taking an oath to follow something and you bind them, you have to be less concerned about some of the particulars. But if we can't find people that will be bound by their duty, their honor, and their oaths, he says, let us have no government at all. And I know that Governor Morris was not trying to threaten us with a good time there, but the principle really, really hits home when you think a country, a union of states that really acts more like a singular nation, the way it wasn't.
So what the Bible says is to swear not by heaven, for it is his kingdom, or to swear by earth, for it is his footstool. But when the Bible also says, what's the matter you, to let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And it also says, thou shalt not lie. So that's why a lot of the founding fathers made sure to include the language affirmation. So either swear or affirm. So when I affirm to you that I'm not going to lie and I'm going to faithfully uphold this office, I am making a promise before God as my creator. But I'm with you, what's the matter you, totally. And you're right. I think the language of swearing is wrong because you're swearing by heaven, and according to the ancient laws, that would be against God's laws because you're swearing by heaven. And it says in the Bible, thou shalt not swear by heaven, for it is his kingdom, nor by earth, for it is his footstool. But making an affirmation before God is clearly something that is totally logical and makes perfectly good sense.
Supposed to be a union of states with over 300 million people. If you're struggling to find just a few hundred people, a tiny, tiny percentage of the entire population, if you can't find a few hundred people or one person, 5 people that will follow their oath all the time in every situation, the Constitution, every issue, every time, no exceptions and no excuses, what's the point of giving these people trust over your liberty and all these other great interests? You'd be better off without them in office at all. So, but seriously though, without threatening us with a good time, if these people don't have any honor, what's the point? And even an oath of fealty to the British king, to the founding generation, it was seen as a reciprocal oath. It wasn't a one-way street. You just yell something out there and that was it. No, in a 1775 sermon, Moses Mather described it like this. He said, there is also what is called a legal allegiance, ex provisione legis. That is and I always get the Latin stuff wrong, so my apologies on that. That is by positive institution as the oath of allegiance taken by the subjects, wherein they swear to bear all true and faithful allegiance to the king. So total fealty to the king, obedience. And we don't think of it as a two-way street really, but this is how Moses described it, which is a counterpart to the king's coronation oath, whereby he swears to protect his subjects in all their just rights, to abjure popery and maintain the Protestant religion, to govern the kingdom and administer justice according to the laws of the realm. So they're taking an oath today to administer their office according to the laws of the Constitution and nothing else. Now, as a quick aside, a lot of people have asked me over the years, why?
Yeah, they weren't making a promise before a king. And so to answer what's the matter you's question, or to expound upon an answer, the king was considered to be God's representative on earth. So they're basically swearing to their God. But I'm with you. I think, and I also think that swearing by heaven also had more to do. And again, I'm not a biblical scholar, but I'm a legal historian. And I think it had to do more with like cursing or it's like, I swear to God, I'm going to do something dangerous or hurt you, like something like that, cursing someone. But I'm sure there's somebody like maybe Roger Lane or Rami who can probably probably is way more educated than me, who can tell us.
Oath or affirmation. Why isn't it just oath? And Wikipedia, I thought this was fascinating. As usual, they get part of it right and part of it just, they don't know what they're talking about. And here's how they put it. The constitutional language gives the option to affirm instead of swear.
There you go.
While the reasons for this are not documented, which is absurd, it may relate to certain Christians, including Quakers, who apply this scripture literally.
There you go.
Quote, but above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath.
This is cool.
But let your yea be yea, and your nay, nay,
no be
lest
no.
ye fall into condemnation. So there were some
That's all my dad told me when I was growing up. Let your yes be your yes and your no be your no, and you keep your word. Otherwise, you're nothing but a piece of garbage. And that my dad pounded that into me, literally. And I do live my life by those principles, guys. Maybe that's another reason why you guys like my show.
People, primarily Quakers, but Mennonists, I believe, is the other sect that also
Mennonites.
would not swear an oath, but they could affirm that they agreed with certain things. Now, Wikipedia says, it might relate to Quakers, but we know that this was a discussion about Quakers all along. Here, for example, just a few months after the shot heard around the world in 1775, Lexington and Concord, this is now into August, George Mason wrote an ordinance for establishing a general test oath. And he said, it is now become indispensably necessary by an appeal to heaven, because the British were pushing an oath and making deals. Hey, we'll protect you if you join up with us and you swear fealty to us and reaffirm that. And a lot of people were joining the British military at that point.
Yeah.
And here's George Mason. It is indispensably necessary by an appeal to heaven to enter into a more firm union for our common defense and to distinguish those deserving our protection from such as our enemies to our just cause. And he continued, this is the end part of the oath. It's pretty long, but this part I thought was interesting. I do declare that I will defend and support this colony against all invasions and insurrections whatsoever that shall or may.
What's the matter you? All your dad could do was try his best. And hopefully he taught you enough about honor and dignity and integrity that you learned those personal lessons. And I do feel for you because there are so many hypocritical dads. That's why it's so important that your dads don't just talk, but they do. It's a really big deal, guys. Give me a bunch of ones for the dads that at least keep their indiscretions away from the sight of their children. Give me a bunch of ones for those dads. Let's keep it going.
Be made against the rights and liberties of America according to my abilities and pursuant to ordinances of general convention. So help me God. Now, a lot of people think that phrase at the end came much later, but we see George Mason using this in Virginia in 1775 in the height of the American Revolution and the early part of the War for Independence, but added this, provided always that the people called Quakers shall affirm to the same effect and also subscribe the same. You can find references to an oath or affirmation in regards to Quakers all over the place during the American Revolution. You can also see oath or affirmation included in various state constitutions, revolutionary ones, and even Alexander Hamilton, his hated internal tax, the whiskey tax. It included this phrase about oath or affirmation regarding Quakers, I think in 5 different places. For example, they shall attest by the same by oath, or being a known Quaker by affirmation. So the notion that we have no idea why they included that, maybe it had to do with Quakers, is absurd. I just wanted to point that out. Now, not everybody was on board with the oath under the Constitution, and it doesn't mean that they were opposed to the idea for oaths, although some people thought it was just absurd and it would be kind of a false security. But a vast majority of the people on the anti-federalist side, they just didn't like the wording in conjunction with what they saw as way too much power being delegated to the federal government or the new general government, or what they saw as a national consolidated government under the proposed Constitution. This, I believe, was John John Smiley of the Pennsylvania Ratifying Convention, pointing out that Article 6, Clauses 2 and 3 are concluding clauses that the state governments will be abolished. So in other words, there will no longer be a union of states. It will be a singular national government. And as Patrick Henry warned, a singular government over such a great territory will absolutely destroy the liberties of the people. That's what he predicted. And here it says the oath here required is contrary to the oath required by the Constitution of Pennsylvania. No member of the assembly will hereafter take the latter oath. So they're being asked to take 2 oaths, and maybe an oath in one of the state constitutions had something competing. So they were very concerned about that on the anti-federalist side. Here's Luther Martin, also in the Philadelphia Convention. He made this motion to strike out the words requiring such an oath from the state officers. He did not want to see the state officers taking an oath to support the Constitution for the United States. That was for the members of the government of that.
So the bottom line is, hopefully you guys, I've quenched your thirst, you people who are thirsty to learn about our Constitution and our Bill of Rights and the battle between the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, because the states are sovereign and they're supposed to be. And so there was a big battle, like, why am I giving an oath to this centralized government when we all know that centralized government leads to demonic influences and total control by one evil tyrant, basically a king. And that's what we wanted to avoid. And so, you know, I struggle with it too, because, you know, I support the Bill of Rights, but I think that states' rights are still more important. And states had all those same rights, and we all have all those same rights in the Bill of Rights granted to us by our Creator. And that's even spelled out in the Declaration of Independence, the unanimous declaration between the states. So I dropped the link in for you guys. I definitely want you guys to go check out his channel. It's the 10th Amendment, Center. And when you subscribe to his channel, I just ask that you pretty please say, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but when you subscribe to his channel, comment on one of his videos and say, Mike Ehline over at Ask Michael Ehline, the Michael Ehline YouTube channel, told us to subscribe, and he really wants you to come on as a guest. Please come on Michael Ehline show as a guest. We'd love to have you on as a guest and, you know, come into the sidebar. Really love this guy. He is everything that I wish I could be. I mean, he is a true constitutional law scholar, and I just really dig this dude. His name's Mike, I believe, just like me, Michael the Archangel. So let's get into some more fun videos, and let's pick our audience back up. Let's do it.
Afternoon, sir. Hello, officer. Driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please. Yes, sir. It's all up to date. It's all there. Everything's good. Any firearms in the vehicle today? I'm glad you asked. This is America.
All right. So before I get in trouble with Ozzy Osbourne, let's get into the next one.
Hey, how you doing? I got my hands on because I got a
welcome, Gloria. Thanks for coming.
I got a loaded firearm on my right side inside my waistband. So, yeah, absolutely.
Now, the first thing that I say when he walks up to the window is, hey, I'm a valid CCW holder. I have a loaded firearm in my waistband, 3 o'clock position, just to let you know. Now, right off the bat, you could tell he wasn't intimidated. He didn't feel threatened. He was relieved by my honesty. That goes a long way. All right. Now, as you saw, my hands were visible at all times. They were either outside the window or they were on top of my steering wheel. I wasn't digging around in my car. I wasn't reaching around. Now, when the cop came back and he asked me for driver's license and all that, granted, I should have had my wallet pre-positioned just to avoid any confusion. So I specifically stated to him, hey, my wallet.
So that's something that Chili teaches you guys. Like, you know, and I recommend you guys buy his cop cards and his trifold. And he has this little program where you have everything like in a binder where you keep it on like on the clipboard on your visor. And the dude's a genius, man. I mean, that's how you want to deal with it. Now, Chili, I don't think I've ever seen him do a video about CCW holders. Now, there's guys like What's the Matter You who would be like, yeah, I'm not going to tell him anything. But I think certain state statutes require you, if you get pulled over, to identify if you're a CCW holder. Me personally, if I carry all the time, and I'm not going to tell a cop I have a gun in my car. Absolutely not. It's none of his freaking business. But anyways, let's keep going.
It's right down there. If you want me to reach for it, that's fine. I'm going to move really slowly.
Yeah, Team DLZ,
Guys, don't
there
make
you
fast
go.
movements, especially when they know that you're carrying.
Yeah, why
I
would
was
you
keeping
tell him
an
you're
eye on
carrying?
his hand position in his fire. His hand was right there, ready to go the whole entire time. Even though I told him, he was still a little bit skeptical. You can't blame the guy, you know. They want to do their jobs. They want to go home to their families at the end of the day, just like us.
Right there. I'm going to reach right there. I would have to pull it up on my cell phone. I do have electronic copy. Cell phone is right there. Okay.
Now, my movements, they were real slow. I verbally stated to the guy, okay.
So, oh yeah. So here's the problem, eh? Like he's telling the guy that he's got a gun. So now if the cop shoots him, he can claim that, hey, the guy made a furtive movement, so I shot him and get away with it. So it's just not a good, not a good look. And then the whole, it's here, I'm doing this. It shows submission. I don't know. I just don't like the whole concept. The guy's a public servant. We just saw a video about, you know, affirming your oath. And that oath means that you'll protect and defend the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights has certain things that are mentioned in there, eh? Don't you know, eh? Well, let's keep watching there, eh?
I'm going to be reaching right here in this area. I'm going to move slowly. And sure enough, I went down, grabbed my wallet, nice and slow, brought it up. All was good.
I do have some more firearms in the back. They are in.
So one of the guys in the sidebar asked me, see here, and Broken Draw Digital says, don't you have to tell them that you're carrying by law, eh? Well, not by my law. I mean, my law comes from God. I don't know what law you're talking about. Now, there may be state statutes based upon the state that you live in that require you to disclose whether or not you have a concealed carry permit, you know, is a basis to have a concealed carry license, like in your vehicle. But for me, you know, I'm always carrying. I typically will have, you know, an AR with at least 1,000 rounds and at least 2 pistols in my car at all times. I don't see any issue. I'm not going to tell a cop because that'll just give him, if he doesn't like people like me, it just gives him an excuse to fill me full of lead, right, guys? So let's keep going.
Cases and everything, though. So just a heads up. Yeah, no problem.
Now, I was also out doing some filming. So I had some firearms in the back. Those were in cases. But I also disclosed that information to him as well. So whenever you're upfront and honest with these guys, they are really appreciative. That lets them know that you're not a threat. Hey, I'm not here to harm you. I have a weapon, but I'm going to tell you about it. So that eases their mind a little bit.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sir, I appreciate your honesty
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
respectfulness today. Citation was issued for speed 72 and 55, 17 over.
Yeah, I appreciate your
Now,
honesty.
at the end of the
boy.
day,
F
it
you
doesn't
under
matter
with
how
a
honest you
citation.
are. If you get pulled over, you're in the wrong. I know I was speeding. I wasn't going to argue with this guy. I still got a ticket. Now,
All right,
that's
so this bootlicker, I've had enough of him already. So he's definitely going into the round file. All right, so let's get into another one where we see how crazy some of these jackboots can get with people.
The strain of being a frontline worker was caught on tape when a state trooper pulled over a motorist. It all started when the motorist gestured at the trooper, and the tirade that resulted was captured on the driver's cell phone.
Step out! I have a car! Step out! All right!
It's the meltdown that's landing this state trooper nearing retirement in hot water.
I got 14 months. I can't wait to be done.
The tirade erupted when a motorist in New Haven, Connecticut was pulled over for speeding after giving the trooper the bird.
So we have a guy from the UK. Thanks for joining us. Well, yeah, we can understand that as a Brit because your country has had hundreds of years to be able to brainwash people into thinking the government can do no wrong. And you have a government-funded British Broadcasting Corporation that's at least 20 to 30% funded by the tip cheerio king. And look at your country is being flooded with jihadists who hate you and try to have their way with your women. And at least half your country thinks that that's okay. And they call people bigots for not wanting those people in your country. That's not my country, brother. I appreciate you being on my channel. And I appreciate you pointing out the difference between Americans. We fought to make sure we wouldn't have some punk king like yours in some submissive government that's submissive to the state rather than to the rights of the people. Remember, you had a Magna Carta. You beheaded at least one of your kings. I don't know what happened to your country that you would allow these one world government pieces of garbage to take over your land. It makes me sick to my stomach. Let's keep going.
The driver says he didn't realize it was a trooper in an unmarked car.
Can I just ask you why you're riding their butt like that and speeding, man?
When the trooper tells the driver to get out of the car, things really get heated.
Everyone's got something to say.
The trooper says he was pursuing a speeding trucker.
I was driving along. I was going to hit you with a simple citation that I give, but no. You got to be...
This is how he deals with an ashtray he suspects contains medical marijuana.
Mind your own business and be on your way.
The driver later posted this video.
That police officer had no reason to do what he did. He was acting like a loose cannon.
The state police are calling the trooper's rant disturbing.
Step out.
I have a car.
Step out.
The incident ended without the driver being ticketed. The department says an internal affairs investigation has been initiated and the trooper has been put in an administrative position away from contact with the public.
Can you imagine being that dude's wife? I mean, imagine if that guy's married. Imagine being his wife. So for some reason, there's certain personalities that are attracted to government and law enforcement, and they're usually power-seeking scumbags. And that's what you see. And the people that you want in government are the people like a George Washington who don't want the job, right? So I always say, if you're electing someone who just has to be president or just has to be in politics, that's not somebody that you should be voting for. I think you should be voting for someone who's been in business, somebody who donates their salary to charity, right? You know, somebody who has enough money to be of means, somebody who's had to suffer under the yoke of the laws that the government passes. Give me a bunch of ones if you feel that that's the better type of government to have. A leader who doesn't want the job, right? That's the kind of guy you want. Somebody who doesn't want the job, somebody who already has their own money, somebody who's already made it but had to suffer under all the BS laws that these bureaucrats who spent all their lives in college, who have never had a real job, typically who are Marxists and who hate our country, and every other word out of their mouth is that you're a racist, bigot, or homophobe if you don't agree with me, right? We don't want guys like that in power. We want the guy in power who donates their money to charity and who doesn't really want the job but sees that their country is being destroyed by these academic administrative staters, right? Those are the kind of people I believe that we should be trying to get as leaders. Let's get into the next video.
Do not be an idiot. Call the city. Call the city attorney, you motherfucker.
In San Diego, the man filming this is a police auditor who is faking the foreign accent.
This is not that property. Property line is here, stupid. Are you stupid here? Are you stupid? Okay, you want me to walk on the street, stupid? Okay, very good. Very good. Let's walk on the street, everybody.
He is drawing out the officer's bias and disregard for constitutional rights.
Does anybody law enforcement know the law here? Raise your hand if you know the law here. Raise your hand if you know the law. Do you know the law? Come here. Come here. I am requesting police officer.
His confrontation
I am requesting.
began when the auditor, who calls himself Shandula with SGV News First, stood on a public easement and started recording.
All right, guys, SGV News First out here in the city of San Diego, checking out this welding company.
First up, a welding company employee.
Who are you with?
Can you move out of the way?
Yes, I'm wondering why you're here.
I'm taking pictures. You're in my shot. You're like right in front of my camera.
I understand. I'm asking you who you're with.
I'm just out here taking pictures.
And we've got broken into before, so we're very suspicious about anybody.
Yeah, maybe you need some better security then.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, then what's your problem then? There shouldn't be a problem if you have better security.
Do I need to call law enforcement about you?
For what? I'm not breaking the law. I'm not on your property. Oh. This is public easement here. Negative. You can call whoever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Next up, a San Diego County Sheriff's deputy, and the gibberish begins.
Shandu shallah haraka hamaher. Inshallah haraka hamahera. Shandu shallah hamar. Haraka haraka shandu shallah.
The auditor, Shandula, then starts singing in gibberish.
Shari aparet, shari aparet.
So you're just filming here, huh?
Shari aparet, stuperatir. Shandushallah haraka hamahera, nata hera. You're not a Shandula or what a hera? What's the problem? What a matter?
The bewildered sheriff's deputy calls for backup.
I just wanted to see what you were doing here.
Shari apa, shari apa.
He called for backup.
Shari aparet. Bye-bye. Shari apparet. Shari apparet. Very scared motherfucker here. Was so scared motherfucker. Everything's scared here, officer, with all the guns here. Shari apparet. I do not care your words. Blap, blap, blap. Shari apparet.
Next up, Deputy Ipshin.
San Diego Sheriff Department.
Very good.
So this is what I want to talk to you about.
Very good, very
You are currently on
good.
private property.
Very good, very good, very
They do
good.
not want you on the property, and they are willing to sign a citizen's arrest. If you do not leave the property,
Shari apparet. Shari apparet
you
here.
understand that, sir?
Shandu do not understand your bullshit here.
But do you understand that if they do sign a citizen's arrest, we will arrest you?
You are. This is not private property, motherfucker.
You're on their driveway.
This is private property here. Do not be an idiot. Do not be an idiot. Call the city. Call the city attorney, motherfucker. Call the city attorney now. You tell me where the property line is.
You're on their property, sir.
This is not that property. Property line is here, stupid.
You're on your.
Are you stupid here? Are you stupid?
Sir, you're.
Okay, you want me to walk on the street, stupid? Okay, very good. Very good. Let's walk on the street, everybody. Let's walk on the street.
As the auditor steps away and films the patrol cars, which is allowed, the deputies chat among themselves. Then the verbal insults intensify.
Shari up, stupid police here. Shari up. Go suck big balls inside station. Here you go. Here you go. Very good. Very good. What is name and pussy number? What is your badge number here? Hey, pussy boy.
So it's funny, but I wouldn't do that.
This is city property here.
Yes, you look. Well, look where you are.
This is city property.
You're on their driveway.
Shut up on motherfucker. I stand anywhere. One constitutional freedom. Shut up on it.
Yes, you do have the.
Shut up on it. Shut up on it. Do not violate my rights, motherfucker. Very good.
If you want to step out.
If somebody is driving in, I'd gladly move away, motherfucker. Get rocks.
Right.
This is not property. You check with city before you violate my rights, motherfucker.
Sir.
You call city attorney right now. I am calling city attorney myself.
Okay, go ahead.
I am calling city attorney myself, motherfucker. You are a stupid motherfucker.
Thank you for all your kind words.
You are a stupid motherfucker.
Okay, thank you.
Calling a law enforcement officer vulgar names, even to his face, is protected
It is, but
speech.
it's not smart.
To his credit, Deputy Ipshin stays calm.
What's his name and badge number?
I'm Deputy Ipshin with the San Diego Sheriff Department. My badge number is 00.
Get your supervisor out here.
Sir, I'm here with you.
Give me your supervisor. I do not trust you.
Okay.
You do not know the law. You are telling me this is private property.
Sir, you're on their driveway.
This is not correct. You are not correct here. You're stupid.
They have no.
So you're
idea how
telling me
deal
I have
with
to
this
walk on
guy.
the street here, motherfucker. This is public easement. Do you not understand the law? This is public easement, my friend. I do not care if it is public, private, whatever. It is authorized for me to be on public easement here. I cannot walk on the street because you will cry and bitch like cop and say, oh, you are on the street, come here.
Listen, sir. Can you please stop yelling at me so I can talk to you?
Where am I supposed to walk here? Advise me where is the proper place to walk here. On the street?
You can't walk
on the street?
So again, one of the commenters is saying that he should be arrested for a nuisance. This sounds exactly like the same type of people who would have voted to put people in prison for refusing to wear a face diaper. And that's not the law. Public nuisance is not what he's doing. He's being a jerk. And if they do arrest him and they abuse his rights, there's a very low probability that a jury would award him any money. And that's what I keep trying to teach you guys is, you have a right to be a jerk and get crazy, but most of the people on your jury are going to be like this person over here who says that he is a nuisance. Natalie Madrigal says that he's a public nuisance and needs to be arrested. precisely the type of people that you don't even want to have the right to vote, because Natalie's somebody who clearly doesn't understand the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. She's just probably supports the concept of a democracy where the majority rules. But people like me and most of my audience who understand what a constitutional republic is, we understand that the rights of the individual are what matter. And so me as a lawyer, I don't, as a human being, I wouldn't do what he's doing, but I support his right to do it so long as he doesn't harm someone else. And so that's the real difference between someone who supports the concept of democracy as opposed to someone who supports the concept of a constitutional republic. And I would go so far to say is Natalie is probably a Brit or someone from Canada. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys think that's why she thinks that way.
Sir, as you can see, there's not a lot. There's the only place as you get down.
For my safety, I choose to walk on the public easement.
And again, this is a reaction
public
video.
easement here. I choose to walk on safety
type in the
here. You
sidebar
cannot
reaction
force me
video.
to walk on street.
You're standing on their property.
Call city
and you're
attorney.
blocking their driveway.
Call city attorney. Now one car has tried to come in. I have not blocked any traffic. You cannot violate my rights here. Until I break the law, you can incite the law here.
But you're not walking.
Until I break the law, you must not incite the law here.
But you're not walking. You're not using it as a.
I am
walkway.
filming. I am documenting here.
Then you have the right to, but you don't have the right to be on their property.
This
Just
is not
like you
their
have the-
property. How many
just
times
like
I have to explain to you? You are ignorant.
Sir.
You are very stupid for being a police officer.
Thank you for all your kind words.
Show me where the map is. Show me the property line. Show me property line right away.
Sir, you get arrested, then that's when we'll.
Show me the property line.
Eventually, the deputies discover the property line starts a few feet in from the curb and that the auditor is standing on a public easement.
That's
The
right.
metal shop staff say they are not worried about the auditor, and so the police retreat.
You're stupid.
Right.
It is cops like you that get good cops killed out here. You know that?
So I don't want to get too, it's the guy kind of makes me cringe. It's just not my style. And again, I don't know what his purpose is, but and I don't think that I'm not making assumptions that he's trying to sue someone. But what I am saying is if he does get arrested, a jury, a criminal jury, probably would not find in his favor, and they would probably find him guilty of loitering or some other crime just because of his personality, because he comes off like an aggressor. So that's why I always try to teach my audience, try to be courteous, considerate, and kind, because it is going to help you if you do get accused of a crime later when a jury looks at the video. And of course, if you do want to sue, obviously they're never going to award money. They might find in your favor and then give you $1. And that's why most lawyers won't represent guys like that, because they realize the lawyer's going to put all this money into a case. He's going to advance all these costs, knowing that the jury's going to hate this guy. And I've told you guys a million times, I make my money from the cases that I don't take. That's God's honest truth. You make your money as a lawyer from the cases you don't take. Those crazy clients who want to tell you how to practice law, who think they know more about the law than you, I'm not going to represent somebody like that. You come to me because I know better than you. I've got 20 years in practice and 10 years as a paralegal before that. Somebody who thinks that they know more than me, who's never even stepped foot in a courtroom other than to get charged with a crime, is not somebody I'm going to be wanting to represent. So I'm just trying to help you guys who want to put your feet in the hot water and step out into the danger zone. I'm trying to help you guys understand the real world of how things really work, because it's one thing to say, I'm going to sue you, but do you really think that you're going to get any money? It's one thing to say, I'm going to beat this charge, but are you going to beat the charge? Because even if you're totally in the right, if you have a bunch of jurors like this, what's her name? Natalie. What was her name? I think her name was Natalie. Yeah, Natalie Madrigal. If you have a bunch of jurors like Natalie Madrigal, they're gonna find against you and they're gonna try to convict you. These are the same people who would have locked people up for refusing to wear a face diaper or refusing to inject themselves, right? Right, whatever the government says goes, right? Whatever the government says, they're gonna go. Whatever CNN says, whatever their paid for doctors say, that's what they're gonna go with. And so you have to be very careful out there in this world, guys, because that could be the person who knows nothing about the Constitution, who's going to be deciding your fate. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, you should respect your elders, of course, Jeff, but I don't think those guys were older than him. But I got a kick out of it. I thought it was entertaining for a while, but the whole concept of trying to demean the cop and cussing him and stuff. Not my cup of tea. But again, I support his right to do it. That's the difference between me and people like Natalie. I support his right to do it. And I support the First Amendment is super, super important, guys. It's a God-granted right, and we have to fight for people like him to be able to do that. We can't be the arbiters of what type of speech is good and what type of speech is bad. That's ultimately up to your creator to decide, perhaps in the afterlife. And yeah, Bob also says, yeah, you can do voir dire, but you got to spell it right too. It's VOIR. But in voir dire, that just gives you the opportunity to do a couple peremptory challenges, maybe just some challenges for cause. But after that, you're stuck with whoever's on the jury. And typically they're going to be government employees. And government employees, as a general rule, vote Democrat, and they want that job security. So they're going to go with whatever the government tells them to do. They're not constitutional republic type people. They're people who get a tax-funded pension, and they're going to vote for the politician who makes sure they get that tax-funded pension from your paycheck. And they typically are going to go for the prosecutor. And that's just been my experience. So be very, very careful about thinking that you know what a jury is going to decide. Typically, the ones who stay on the jury panel are the ones who get the paid-for parking, and they get days off for jury duty pay. So the other ones, they have businesses, and they'll figure out a way to get off that jury panel because they have to support their families. So you have to understand politics and the way people think as well before you start getting into this jury game. And Bob Oso is right. We have the right to jury nullification, but here's the problem. I can be that one holdout juror and you get a mistrial, but guess what, Bob? Now he's got to go back for another jury trial, you see? Because it's just a mistrial. There's no double jeopardy there. It's just a mistrial. But I'm with you, Bob. I mean, I used to think of all these ideas before I finally became an attorney and had a rude awakening about how things really work in the real world. And that's why I'm here for guys like you, Bob. I'm not putting you down, brother. I want to help you guys. I want to help people like you because I care about you. And I want to make sure that you don't get screwed under by thinking that you know more about the law than they do, because you probably do. But you also have to understand the politics of the court system and the judicial system and the 6 degrees or whatever it is of separation, that people on that jury may have an uncle or a brother who's a cop, and they're just going to hate your guts and not say anything because they're like this Natalie lady who just wants to get you thrown in jail, right? The same people who wanted to throw people in jail for refusing to wear a face diaper. She's a typical example of that. So just be very, very careful what you guys want, because be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. Now, a lot of you guys may know, I used to live in Motherwell, Scotland, man. So I got a pretty funny video about some coppers over in Scotland. I'm going to show it to you, mates. Let's check it out, eh?
Just leave.
Oh, aye.
Not guilty of the day. What was that?
He didn't call you a junk. He didn't call you a
Aye, you know what he called me, do you?
And the new.
He didn't call you a junkie. I just said junkies
You
on that page.
Oh, aye.
What was that?
I just said you might get junkies on that page.
Aye.
Aye.
Call anyone.
Andrew.
Yes, man.
Aye.
How you doing?
No bad, mate.
Good stuff.
All right, Jimmy.
What did you call for?
I
What did you call for?
I didn't. I was
What did you
coming to
call
get
for?
one.
I'm sorry, I was sticking to you. I was sticking to him.
Iron brew.
I bought this two stuff, David.
Check it out, guys. See that? That's iron brew made from steel girders. This is so cool. This brings back memories. So over in the UK and stuff, if you call someone a bad name, like you try to say, hey, you're a junkie, that's like a crime over there. They have the crimes, like crimes of insult. You put someone down, you can literally be thrown in jail. But that is like their national drink. It's man, I'm trying to remember, like try to come up with something that it might taste like here. Let me think about it for a minute. There are some drinks that are similar here, but Iron Brew, IRNBRU. I had my wife actually order me a case from Scotland, man. It's great, Jimmy. So it actually has iron in it, and it's made from steel girders.
About this.
Aye, Jimmy. That's right, mate. Fuck's sakes, man. It got the Bobby upset, man.
Hey,
you're not squaring up to me.
Hey, well, you're not fucking shit off of me, yeah.
You got the copper upset, man. Fuck's sakes. when I was over in Scotland, I was about 190 pounds. I've been taking judo and kickboxing for most of my life up until that time. And I got a job as a bouncer at a place called Memories Lounge and a pub as well. And they loved me because I was from California, and all they had on the TV, on the telly, was Baywatch. So as soon as they heard I was from California, oh, it's Baywatch, man. It was hilarious, guys. Okay, here's the next video. This is one where a guy gets pulled off an airplane for impersonating a police officer. And I think it's going to be our last one for the night. It's kind of hilarious and kind of not. Check it. Hey, that's pretty cool. So now I know, like, man, I was visiting San Diego and I had my daughter with me, and they gave us, it's like Southwest. So they say that you're assigned seats, but then they don't give you assigned seating. So if you got like the cheap seats, like I always get towards the back, and I've got a minor child with me. And so they tried to separate us, and I was walking past the dude, and I was saying, that's B-U-L-L, whatever. And the guy's like, hey, you can't cuss me like that, motherfucker. Start, in front of everybody. And then all of a sudden I'm swarmed by all these Southwest employees. And I was like, look, dude, if you were on one, I've got a minor child. Well, you didn't tell me she was a minor child. And I'm like, well, can't you tell she's a minor child? And the last people on board, because you don't assign seats, even though it says that you do, which is, I think, false advertising, by the way, that, I think it's BS what you're doing. Well, you can't use them languages with me. And it's like totally ridiculous. But ultimately, they almost didn't let my daughter and I fly. So I'm surprised that they let a guy fly who actually, there's witnesses saying that he identified himself as a marshal and a cop and all that. So anyways, I guess give a bunch of ones to those airport police for letting the guy fly. By the way, guys, everybody say hi to BZ Watchdog. Give him a bunch of ones. BZ Watchdog was the victim of a false arrest the other day, and he got a tight handcuff, torture cuff case put on him, and a false arrest and some false charges. So we're going to do a show. I'll probably do a compilation where I do him and Brick Jonesy's videos, and I'll break them down for you and talk about, my legal perspective of what I think went down there and what his chances are. And I'll go over, if he wants me to, I'll go over for you guys I think he's doing a motion to suppress, and I think he's handling his case pro per. It's one of those cases like a muni case, it's like a $500 fine, no jail time. But BZ Watchdog is one of these peculiar guys. He's a former Marine like me, so inactive, right? Once a Marine, always a Marine. So I'd like it if you guys give him a bunch of ones, support his channel, like and subscribe to his channel. He's got some pretty good stuff, pretty good content. And then also, if you want to give a bunch of ones to Rami, because Rami helps BZ with his videos, and he's excellent. And if anybody needs video work, who wants to support Rami, definitely reach out to Rami. And we're going to close out the show in just 1 second. Joe Childs, thanks for showing up. Kinetic Customs, totally appreciate you guys showing up for me. Bob Oso, or Aso, I love it, man. Os, which means excellent in Japanese. Love you, man. And What's the Matter You? I always love What's the Matter You, because What's the Matter You makes me think. And What's the Matter You is one of these, I think, is a true, in my opinion, a libertarian through and through. Has no loyalty to any party. It just believes in the concept of liberty and being left alone, which is really what I think, most of our founders really wanted. And then Ghost Man, always Salt Shaker, Cops are 5150. Tiffany Degley, thank you for showing up. Everybody who hooked me up with super chats and purchase memberships and stuff, man. Super stickers, that really means a lot to me, because I know a lot of you guys don't have the means. And this is a show that is totally funded by myself and my wife, giving me the opportunity to do this while she takes my son to the dojo for judo lessons. So it really means a lot to me that you guys support me that way. And the other way that I've almost sold like 400 copies so far, and this is really helping a lot, is if you can pick up a copy of my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. And again, this is a soft cover book that I'm showing you. And the only reason I'm showing you this is because this is the cover that's on the digital ebook. I don't have the ability right now monetarily to print up a bunch of soft cover books, and to bring them to market would be around 40 plus shipping and handling. And the hardcover now, from my quotes that I'm getting, even if I buy them in bulk, would be closer to like 60 plus shipping and handling. And I just don't think people could afford it. But my ebook is a living ebook. So if you get a copy of my ebook, let me just show you how to do it really quick. You go to the Michael Ehline channel on YouTube, which I'm going to show you in just 1 second. Just bear with me, guys. And then I'll send you home for dinner. So let me make sure you can see everything. Okay. So to get a copy of my ebook, the ebook version of my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, $19.99, you just go to my YouTube page, which is, I'm going to drop it for you right now. Boom, drop that in there. Click on that, and then you go to where it says Michael Ehline Injury Attorney, and then you see it says California, Texas, Civil Rights, Appellate, and Personal Injury, and you go right where it says More, and that drops you down. You scroll down, you'll see my personal blog, you'll see my law firm. If anybody gets in a car or motorcycle accident, that's where you would go. I'm only licensed in California and Texas, but I do catastrophic injury cases. So you click on that link to learn about the law firm. Then to purchase my book, it's right here. You just click on that PayPal link. It's $19.99. I encourage all of you to join my Reddit page and subscribe and add me as a friend. Check me out on X and then Instagram, which I rarely use because it's just a commie-run piece of garbage site by Meta. I don't like Zuck. I think he's a piece of garbage. I think he engaged in major election interference, and he definitely, to me, is a total traitor to this country. But I do have an Instagram channel. You can go ahead and go there. I rarely use it. It's mainly just because I have friends and family who follow it, and that's how a lot of them communicate with me when they're overseas. But the Reddit one, it's kind of a good one. If you're an auditor, definitely add me because I have a lawyer reaction page there. I'll share your police audit videos, and I'll do a little write-up about them and try to help you promote your channel. And I don't charge for that. I just do it because I love you guys. I love America, and I want to help you guys. But anyways, that you can purchase a copy of my digital ebook by going right there. And that's pretty much that. Let me see here. So I think I've thanked everybody. Joe Childs. Hey, thanks, Joe. Yeah, man. And me and BZ Watchdog, he served longer than me. I got boarded out medically. I blew my knee out. I'm 70% disabled now. And I have a lot of issues going up and down stairs. I've had knee surgery, and it just gets worse with age. But I never do anything differently than I did it. And yeah. And yeah, so let me see here. Kinetic Custom, thank you, brother. Ghost Man, hit that double tap. Yeah, guys, make sure to always double tap that screen and hit that like and subscribe button. And then when the show's over, please go to where it says comments, if you could, and type in some comments too, because right now you're blocked from doing that. Just because pressing the save button where you save the video for later and then doing the comments, it helps me with the algorithm to promote my show. So, because Google or YouTube will put the stuff up higher in the search results. And then anybody who wants to help me build out my Rumble and Patreon channel who has experience, please reach out to me, because you never know when the thought police are going to take this channel down. I mean, gosh, nowadays you can't even say a cuss word and they try to demonetize your videos. It's crazy. Sin City Giggles, thank you for coming. I think I've thanked everyone. Point 5, yeah, thanks, Point 5. Critical thinking is what it's all about. That's right. We need to be critical thinkers. Get your kids out of the public school Marxist education system. Homeschool your kids. Teach your kids critical thinking. Teach them about the Revolutionary War. Teach them that it was fought over the powder houses and guns. That's why these commie teachers don't want to teach you that, because they want a one world government like the British are trying to push on all across Europe. We don't want a one world government. We don't want the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, and scumbags like Bill Gates running our country or running the world. We want to have local control, just like we want to have local control with our families. We don't need somebody from some faraway clock tower, watchtower dictating to us. We don't believe in fascism and dictatorships. We believe in the constitutional republic where the government is bound by the chains of the Constitution. That's what we want with Team MPE. Make sure to also give me a bunch of overturn civil asset OTCFs, overturn civil asset forfeiture laws, OTCAF, overturn civil asset forfeiture law, OTCAFs in the sidebar. Give me a bunch of OTCAFs in the sidebar, please, before we go. And I'll do another show about overturning civil asset forfeiture laws in a couple of weeks. That's actually a topic close to my heart, because several of my Marine brothers have had their wealth confiscated from them because we don't like leaving money in the bank. We don't trust the government. Most Marines I know do not trust the government. And we try to keep our cash and our guns on us at all times. That's how it works. OTCAFs, overturn civil asset forfeiture laws. And again, I really want to thank you all for showing up tonight. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. With that being said, Semper Fi, do or die.